Hello everyone, and thank you so much for joining me for today's lecture. We're going to look into LinkedIn as well as how we are going to use LinkedIn for our career growth and even career management. So we're going to look into what is LinkedIn about. We'll then look into the great network of LinkedIn, which is now about 900 million people in the world, where we have about 7 million people in Canada. Then we are going to look into how we are going to find opportunities using tools that we have in LinkedIn. Then we will go over what are those tools and again how we can use them for our success. And then we will see what we can do in order to make a good profile on LinkedIn. Okay, so this is an interconnected network of experienced professionals. More than 50% of people on LinkedIn have college degrees. They have a minimum of 170 industries in more than 200 countries. Every 4 to 5 minutes, we have additional 2 LinkedIn members, and LinkedIn is used by many executives from the all Fortune 500 companies. Now, what we do on LinkedIn, we will share our professional experience. We will also share our resume, so our education. We will also share any recommendation. We may recommend someone, and of course, people are going to recommend us. We will also use endorsements in order to talk about specific skills that people may have. And when you endorse your colleagues, of course, they will also endorse you as well. And we do have about, I would say, more than 3,500 different skills that are entered into the LinkedIn system. And of course, we are going to look into opportunities because LinkedIn is allowing us to be seen. It also allows other colleagues to see us, to learn about our experience, our knowledge, our availability as well. And it also allows recruiters from different companies to find the best talents for the positions that are opened in their companies. So it's a great network because you're going to again join people that you know. You will also be able to join people that you don't know yet, but you would like to join them by looking into their profile, and if they are in the same field than yours, you will be able to connect with them and with their network. At the same time, LinkedIn is also used by again different businesses where they can post different advertisements. They can also connect with different people. And LinkedIn has also a premium account, which is not only one, but there are several premium accounts where people, they start to pay about $20 per month in order to get, I would say, a little bit more than basic functions on LinkedIn. That's because the basic, I would say, subscription to LinkedIn is free. And of course, this is a place where we can also create groups or associations where we can try to gather more and more members who are in our field. And in this case, we are going to have a group. We will have group discussions. We will see people from the same field that are going to go into LinkedIn. They will ask questions. They will publish articles on LinkedIn. They will also ask you maybe to contribute into answering some questions or to also publish as well. So coming back to again LinkedIn and again how many Canadians are on LinkedIn. As of May 27th, 2024, LinkedIn had 24.4 million users in Canada And of course, sorry, this is as of January 2024, but the data that I extracted from internet was from May 27, 2024. And almost 50% of the users were aged between 25 and 34 years old. So users aged 18 to 24 made up about 21.7% of all users in LinkedIn in Canada, and more than 1 in 4 users were aged 35 and 54 years. If you would like to know more about the most recent survey and data about the LinkedIn users in Canada, you can always go to statista.com and you can search for LinkedIn user share in Canada age. These are the keywords, and of course this is what you can see on this slide. Now, why we go on LinkedIn, why you will go on LinkedIn, and why other people they go on LinkedIn. This is a system which is online. It's a 24/7 system. It allows us to add our profile. I would say that this is an online portfolio if you use it in a way that we also make a portfolio. It's an online resume that we have, and it will allow us to search for jobs and recruiters to find the best talents, as I already mentioned. It also allows investors to look into different, opportunities. People, those companies, they can also hire people. We can also look into finding partners. When I was talking about investors, we can search for people. We can join their network. We may send them messages in order to have some type of investments as well. For the businesses, when they are joining the LinkedIn, they may usually take premium accounts where they will be able to, for example, send mass messages. They will also be able to, through the tools, additional tools that they have, to look into the statistics about the activities of other users. Recruiters, for example, they can always receive alerts in order to know more about specific candidates, if there is any update into their online profile, and consequently connecting with those, potential candidates. We also have people who are selling products. These are suppliers on LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, they are, giving their information because they do have businesses as suppliers. In this case, we can also go to LinkedIn and then search for those type of suppliers as well. Now, which tools are available on LinkedIn? It will depend on your level of subscription. As I mentioned, you do have free subscription that gives you to several tools, like for a search, where you can search per person, per company. You can also search per keywords. But we do have several other tools in addition to search. We can, for example, post an article. You can also post your resume, which is there. You can also make your resume your curriculum vitae or CV, and then to have it posted and available to partners, recruiters, colleagues as well. What also LinkedIn allows you is to add pictures, photographs. This is because we use usually the photographs as a type of proof of achievements or proof of anything that happened, in addition to articles that we can post, and in addition to messages that we can post. We can also send messages of congratulations. We can also add comments on articles as well as on any posting. This is a way to be seen It's also a way, I'm talking about LinkedIn, using the tool in order to give our opinion about some published article on LinkedIn, the articles that have been shared by other, again, LinkedIn members. And in this case, we will contribute into, I would say, yes, if it's potentially advancing the knowledge about a specific topic, but at the same time to be seen. So it will depend how you would like to use LinkedIn, and it has several tools for you. Now, we may not have access to all of the tools. It will depend on, again, the level of subscription that we have. So people who have a premium subscription, they will obviously having access to more tools. So in the next slides, I'm going to go over the tools. I'm not going to tell you which tool is available for which type of subscription, but I'm just going to go over usual tools that we can use now, being a premium user or being a, I would say, a standard user of LinkedIn. So for going over the pricing for the LinkedIn, as I mentioned, we have a forever free version on LinkedIn. We also have LinkedIn Premium Career, which is it costs about $30 per month. We have Premium Business Account, which is $100, about $100. We have Sales Navigator Core, which is about $100 per month. And we can now have more expensive, I would say, services, and prices go from $150 per month up to $835 per month as of course, today. But prices may change, tools may change, they will be improved, obviously. But all of these tools are like the tools that we use in a database, because LinkedIn is a system that is working as an online database, where it also shows all of the qualifications, all of the activities. It's also a social network where, when we are being a premium subscriber, we will be able to use additional tools that their system or their database is again allowing us to use as well. Now, when we go to the home, and again, the interface that you see here has been changed, and it will still change. So LinkedIn is regularly updating their interfaces. So if you see any discrepancy in between what you see here and maybe in a few months or years you're going to see changes in the interfaces, please again don't be surprised. That's because they continue to upgrade their system and interfaces. But in a normal, regular interface on LinkedIn, we can do search. Now we can see on the top, you can click on people, jobs, answers, and companies. You can also search people per job, per company, and even per geographical position. And what is also interesting is that in addition to this, you can search for groups. So what you can see here on the left side of the interface, you have the home, which is the first page when we enter the LinkedIn system. Then you have the groups, where you can search for groups, you can look into groups. Some groups are public, some others are private, meaning that you have to receive an invitation or to ask the user or the super user of the group to look into your request and then to allow you to join them. If not, the majority of these groups are public. And what happens here is that you will just join a group, and you're going now to have access to all of the information that group members are sharing with others. This may also be, of course, some job positions as well. This may be articles, this may be propositions, this may be, again, articles to review. So many activities are happening in the LinkedIn groups. Then you also have access to your profile. Your profile is where you're going to put your information, your professional information. You also have a profile picture. You also have a background picture. You can also add different sections into your profile page, where you always have a summary, where it should be a story of what you have done so far. You also have sections for your education, for your experience background, and then you do have sections for again I would say publications of any posting that you did, in addition to recommendations, your skills. So if you have been endorsed, for the recommendations you can have access to recommendation that you received from your colleagues, sorry, or recommendations that you gave to your colleagues, and at any time you can of course update recommendations that you gave. But for the received recommendations, you can always again ask for the person who wrote a recommendation to revise it for you. You also have a section for contacts. You have a section for the inbox, all of the messages that you use, and you do have access to several applications depending on your level of subscription. So it's a very user-friendly system. The interface is also very user-friendly, and as you see, you're just having data behind the scene, and these interfaces allow you to use different tools offered to you by this online database in order to use it the way you would like to. Is it for jobs? Is it for, again, finding suppliers? Is it for doing business? Is it for getting recommendations? There are several ways that we can use LinkedIn. Now, when you go to the groups, this is where you can have your own groups. You can follow the groups, you can have the access to the group directory, and you can also create a group. So groups may be per class, maybe per department, per company, per field of interest, and we have several of those. So when you're going to go to the groups directories, you can search within the groups, you can look into different languages of the groups. You can also look into different categories of the group. So again, this is another search interface allowing us to use the group information. Now coming back to your profile, as I already mentioned, you do have a profile picture that must be professional. You also have the ability to add a background picture behind your profile, which is the one that we see on the top center of your page, and then you is also followed by a summary. So the summary, which is 2-3 paragraphs, is going to go over, I would say, a type of cover letter, if you mind. But of course, not everyone is writing, I would say, the content of a cover letter, not everything, but I would say as a second paragraph, where we talk about what we have done, about the story that we have in our resume, and we write that down there. We can also write in the summary section the services that we offer, even if you also have another section where this is for professionals who are offering their, professional services to LinkedIn members. Now again, here in your profile section, you can add your educational background. You can also again look into your public profile, your own, the way that people can see that. And if you would like to change your public profile setting, this is the one that we see here. You can always hide several sections of your online profile. You can even hide your picture if you don't want anyone outside your group having access to your picture. You can even hide your picture from everyone. So it will depend. You have different levels for hiding or for restricting access to different contents or sections in your LinkedIn profile. Now you also have, again, the network statistics. This is in the contacts section. Again, you may have access to this and more tools depending on your level of subscription. And as I already mentioned, when we have a regular subscription, which is free for life, we may not have access to all of the tools. But here we can look into the network, your network of trusted professionals, where you can see your connections, and then you can see the connections of your connections. So here we call that the 2 degree away. You can also see the connections of your connections. So this is a 3 degree away, and by doing this to some level, if this is again also authorized by the owner of a profile, you can also send invitations to different people. If not, you can send messages. If you cannot, it may be because it is restricted again by your level of subscription. If you are a premium subscriber, you will be able to send messages to different LinkedIn members as well. And then when we look into the contacts, for example, you can also look into regional contacts. You can use the search engine and you can look into the contacts that you have in a specific country. You can also look into performing your search on LinkedIn using not your contacts, but using the industry. In this case, you're going to have access to the industry, and you will be able to look into what are the top industries in your network. Now you also have a section for the inbox, and again you also have a section for the messages as well. So for the inbox here, we are looking into again people who are asking you to join your network. So again, in another interface, in the recent interface of LinkedIn, you can find that on the top again, and it is called My Network. And then in the network, you're going to be able to click and then to see how many people send you a message in order to join your, I would say, your circle on, or your group on LinkedIn. Don't forget that people can also follow you, so that each time that you're going to post something, again, an article, for example, or posting a new posting, in this case, they will also receive a message within LinkedIn as a message from LinkedIn, telling them that you already posted one. But don't forget that following someone is not connecting with someone. If you follow someone, the person, for example, cannot can write on your, I would say, your posts. And the person cannot even write recommendations or endorsing you for a skill. But if a person is connected with you, or you are connected to other members on LinkedIn, then you will be able to go on their profile. You can also send them messages, direct messages, and you can also enroll them for different skills that they have. You can also recommend them as well. So don't forget that, again, following someone on LinkedIn is not being connected with that LinkedIn member. Now you also have access to other applications. Here we look into the SlideShare. We have other applications as well on LinkedIn where you can invite your those who come to see your profile to access your publications on different platforms. So one of them is SlideShare, but we have other platforms and other tools as well. You can also obviously add links to your profile. How you do that? You have to go to any section, for example, your professional background section, or I would say job, and then you are going to add a new topic. And the new topic, you are going to add the content. Then you can add media, or you can add a URL, or you can add a media and a URL and a link to YouTube, for example. So these are all being done in each and every of the entries that you have on your profile. Now, you will also have another section where people, they will connect with you. They may ask you questions that are professional, and by asking you the questions, you will be able to answer them. So this is where you will be able to again, go to the People's tab, and then when you receive something by a message, a question, you will be able to open the question and respond to the person, or of course publicly. Now, LinkedIn also has another tool, which is job posting tool. In fact, we do have several websites for job postings, like Indeed.ca, like Eluta.ca, like Glassdoor.ca, etc. But LinkedIn is one of those places where, again, individuals can come, recruiters as well, and they can now post a job, and they will, of course, they have to be premium subscribers, and then they will be able to receive different applications through LinkedIn. So again, what happens is, in the past we had several associations for of professionals, and those associations, they were getting members, and those members were paying an amount of money every year in order to stay a member, and then the organization in any field, it was going to I would say, make some gatherings, and of course having a space like LinkedIn for the job postings. But those days are a little bit, I would say, they are gone now. Now the majority of people, they are using LinkedIn because we have to, if you want to post a job, for example, or search someone, you go where you have the maximum number of people. So on LinkedIn, we also have, again, job postings, and this is because of the fact that there are, again, the millions of people on LinkedIn, and recruiters, they go to a place like LinkedIn in order to have access to more people. And what is also interesting is that those recruiters, they also have access to your profile as well, which is normal. And then they will be able to, again, create a query using the search engines and the tools that we have on LinkedIn in order to do their job. Now we can also search for companies, and based on the companies and the location, you will be able to search among different categories or names of companies, I would say categories, and then you will be able to look into who are the LinkedIn members who have been working or are now working in those companies. It will allow you then to join those people, I would say, to join their networks, and then to approach them. I'm not saying that they are going to respond you back. That's because it's not the case. People, they may be busy, they may not come often on LinkedIn. As I told you, more than 50% of people on LinkedIn are those, again, people aged between 25 and 31. So they may not be necessarily, recruiters, for example. They may, but they may not be necessarily recruiters. So we have this database. We can use it, but it also, like any other database, has its own limitations. And again, by becoming a premium member, those limitations, some of those limitations are going to be removed, but still, again, LinkedIn can do as much as it can, so depending on the tools that it offers. You also have a module for news. This is where you will be able to read all of the news that are posted by different LinkedIn members, again, on LinkedIn. You can also gain new insights from discussions, and these are discussions that can be public or this can be within each group. And you can discover inside connections that can help you land jobs and close deals as well. You can also post and distribute job listings to find the best talent for your company. And again, here, all of these tools, as I already mentioned, are not all again provided to everyone. Some tools need to again for us to be a premium user. Now, if you would like to create your perfect profile on LinkedIn, you can always again go, that's what I'm referring again my students to this link. This is one among thousands of different links, but in a nutshell, the next slide is going to again allow us to go over again what are the steps in order to create a perfect profile on LinkedIn. So first of all, for having a perfect profile, you have to choose the right profile picture for LinkedIn. So don't, if you have been in a bar, for example, or you have been, I don't know, in nature, even if this is you and you may always have a portrait from that picture, try to have a picture which is professional. So professional attire, professional environment, professional setting, and of course professional gestures as well. Don't forget to add a background photo as well. That's a photo that is shown on the top center of your again profile page. And when we search on Google or on again Bing or on any other search engine on internet, usually the first link that shows up on the search I would say search engine page is LinkedIn profile. So when we click on LinkedIn, we will see on the top your background picture, and we will also see your profile picture. Now the profile picture may be a picture which is again, I told you about yourself in a professional setting with professional attire, etc. But the background can be something related to your university or your affiliation, or if you are a social person, to you among a group of people. It will depend again on how you would like to be represented on LinkedIn. You have that option, and you can always use that option by going over again your profile and to update your background photo. The third point is to make your headline more than just a job title. So for this, since we have multitudes of jobs, I cannot tell you which one you can use for a specific job because you have so many options, but you can always look into other people who are in the same field than you in order to look into what they did right. Don't put the buzzwords. Don't repeat the repeated names or adjectives, or even I would say the cliche. Use something unique, and for this it needs, of course, like making your profile, it needs some time. You cannot just take 10 minutes and write a perfect LinkedIn profile. It needs research. It needs to go back and forth into different profiles, looking into your own resume, even thinking again about what you did put in your resume or what you may have forgotten to put in your resume, something that may be a skill, a project that was maybe a travel that is important for again people to know more about. And if you're searching for a job, for example, it may also be a very important point. And again, it's not just for jobs, it can be for a business, finding suppliers, etc. Turn your summary into your story, meaning that the summary should be the story of your resume. So what you have been doing, what you did, your skills, where you have been working for how many years, how many people you encountered, how many patients you had, how many clients you had, to what percentage, for example, you increased the sales of your company. Several types of, I would say, ways to write about your achievements, but writing this in a summary. Don't put a book here, okay? It may be 1 or 2 paragraphs maximum, but this is usually what we put to, like in a paragraph in our cover letter. But again, a cover letter is just for a specific job. Here, we are looking into a globalized profile. In this case, you have to, again, work on that as well. Then for point number 5, you need to grow your network. Look into people in your field, send them invitations so that you can connect. By doing this, they are coming to your profile, they are going to look into your summary, your photo as well, they are going to look into your background photo, they are going to build the type of perception of your professional profile. And by having or growing your network, you're going to be more seen more, and you're going to be exposed to more opportunities, obviously. Now for number 6, don't forget to list your relevant skills. That's because we need skilled people. And if in your, again, relevant skills, if they're also added into your profile, okay, you can also ask your friends, your colleagues to go on your profile and then to endorse you. You can also go and endorse other colleagues, other friends, people that you may have been working with. And in this case, it will also push those people to come to your profile and then, of course, to respond back by endorsing you. And this is going to increase your credibility and your visibility as well. Request for recommendations. I know that not everyone will have time to write a letter of recommendation. It takes maybe 45 minutes or to 1 hour, maybe more. But what you can do is that you can also write recommendations for your friends, for your colleagues. And don't wait after 10 years. Write the recommendations while you are working in a place. And you will see that, or you can ask people, your colleagues as well, who know you because they worked with you, to write recommendations for you as well. This will also increase your credibility. Then for point number 1, you can showcase your passion for learning by taking different certificates from different colleges or online institutions. And then each time that you take one certificate, it shows that you increased the number of your skills, you learned more about a specific field or a specific point. And then you can also definitely, you post your certificate or your diploma on LinkedIn, and you will see that your friends are coming, they will write comments, but everything is just a matter of being visible. So it's not just one certificate one time. You have to constantly be working on your profile. I'm not again saying that you have to change your profile every 5 minutes, but you have to at least every week or every 2 weeks go to your profile, look into any new thing that happened to you, any new learning that you completed, and then to add them as well. It's not just for the learning, it's because it shows your passion for learning, but it's also for your experience. If you acquired a new skill, if you've completed a project, any type of achievement, even finding a new job. I saw that several times. I see this regularly. People, they just announce that they found a job, because we need to know exactly who is doing what. It's a way to always keep in touch without calling each other or sending emails or messages. Now, for number 10, share relevant content from your LinkedIn feed. Relevant means that LinkedIn is not a place for finding, friends. You may, but these are mainly to find or to connect with professionals. It's not a place for, again, talking about politics and the news. This is a professional network, and we have to leave on the side, different types of publications or messaging related to different types of political events. I know, and I saw that also on LinkedIn. I don't read them because to me, when I go to LinkedIn, I'm going to, again, search for jobs, search for new, I would say, growing my network and finding people who are in my field. So if I want to read the news, I will just go to news outside at the LinkedIn. And I tell you that, again, you're free to write anything you would like to on LinkedIn, as long as this is respecting their procedures and their policies. However, it's not a matter of being able to write or not. It's a matter of being perceived, how you are going to be perceived. This is why it's important that from day one, you pay attention to what you write. You have to keep your image as a professional, intact, and you must again keep it. So update your profile, keep it always clean, nice, and of course always with relevant information. For point number 11, you can also add comments on, again, the achievements of your colleagues, because you will be seen and your colleague is going to come to your profile. They're also going to observe what you do. Again, I have many of my students, when they find a job, they have about 200-300 different comments, all 1 or 2 words: congratulations on your achievement, good job, keep doing the good job, etc. Some, again, people, they write a paragraph. What I do is that usually I write a few sentences for my students for their achievements as well, because it will be seen by recruiters, by other professionals. They will see who is supporting you, who is behind you, who is recognizing your efforts and your skills as well. And then for point number 12, follow relevant influencers in your industry. Personally, I follow organizations, okay, because to me this is more important. But many people, they have influencers, they follow them as well. You have people who are CEOs of some companies. They are successful in their own work as well, and many people, they just follow them because those influencers, they will write more articles, they put more content on LinkedIn. And again, this is again another I would say chapter in when you're using the LinkedIn, okay? But if you would like to, you can always, of course, follow the influencers in your industry. You also need to spotlight the services that you offer. And on the top of your profile, you do have, after the summary, you also have another section where you can add your services or what you offer. And of course, the last but not the least point, number 14, is to update regularly your profile. I already talked about that, about this point. Every week, every 2 weeks would be something usual to do. Doesn't take that much of your time, but you keep updating that. And don't forget that whenever you would like to have your CV for curriculum vitae, you also have a tool on LinkedIn in order to create a curriculum vitae based on the information that you added into your profile page. So here I just shared with you some bibliographies. Of course, they are all, I wanted to be original, so I chose the original, I would say, references to LinkedIn. LinkedIn is now growing every 4 or 5 minutes by having 3 additional members. It's offering more tools. It's, again, faster as well. And again, people, they are interacting more and more by growing their network and, of course, by using well the LinkedIn system. So I'm inviting you all, of course, to please go on LinkedIn, update your profile, or if you don't have any profile, to create one, and then to add, as we already discussed, a professional picture, a professional background, a summary, different feeds in your educational and professional backgrounds. If you have pictures, images of your classes, your diplomas, degrees, certificates, if you have some, for example, events that you are hosting or you are going to some events, add those on LinkedIn as well and show that you're active and on LinkedIn, again, is the best way, the best place to be seen, to be perceived, to be judged, as again, because we always judge people as well. See, if we don't know someone, we just look into the LinkedIn profile. And this is also a good, we say, strategy if you're searching for a job, because recruiters, they will always receive alerts as soon as specific people that they already chose before, they update their profile. So when you update your profile, even by 1 or 2 new skills or endorsements or recommendations, an alert is going to be sent to recruiters who are watching your profiles as well. And sometimes, again, don't be surprised if someone from it happened to me, that's why someone who doesn't know you is contacting you saying that they are from a big company and they would like to have an interview with you. You can also have recruiters who will also contact you, and they are going to look into your availability and your suitability for a job for which they are engaged. They are engaged in order to find the best candidates. So thank you so much again for your attendance, and I hope that you enjoyed today's lecture. Thank you so much. Have a good day.